How's it going, YouTube? We're back here for another workout, and it's a green level, so it's a beginner level, entry level workout that anyone can do. This is really, really good for advanced people if you want to activate your core. We're focusing on your core today. And when we talk about core, when I talk about core, what we're talking about are all of the muscles in between here and here. So all of this stuff, the main part of your torso, super important for preventative measures for back pain. Also, if you are lifting heavy, things like squats and deadlifts and bench press, you want to learn to activate the core and be able to breathe throughout that as well. So I'm going to talk through the movements now. If you want to skip straight to the workout, check the description below. There's going to be a chapter marker for that. Otherwise, stick around while I have a chat about the form. The first movement that we're doing is the bird dog knee elbow. So you're going to see up here, I've got an R and an L. Whenever you see the R and the L, that's the right and left. Okay, it's not raccoon or little. It's right and left. So we're gonna do one at a time. It doesn't matter if you do the right or the left, as long as when you hit the next one, you alternate to the other side. So the bird dog knee elbows, we're gonna pop down onto our mats here. This is one that I've prepared earlier. So make sure if you are at home and you've got a hard floor, you've got a towel on the floor or a yoga mat's perfect for this as well. Here we go. Bird dog knee elbows. We're gonna start off with our hands and knees on the floor with this one. And to make it a bird dog, what we do is take the right hand, point that straight out, left leg goes straight behind this. And at this point now, what you should feel activating, a couple of things. Your glute. So the glute of the leg that's pointing out straight towards that back wall, that should be activating to raise that leg out flat. And then the posterior delts and posterior trap muscles up here are gonna be raising your arm to point forward. So that's one section of it. You're gonna form that bird dog. And from here, what we're gonna do is now scrunch both in. So the elbow to the knee and then back. So point that bird dog, scrunch that elbow knee in. Point the bird dog, scrunch the elbow knee in. So what you're doing with that, we're gonna be remaining on our knee and hand on the other side. It's all one side. So you saw there, I was doing the right hand, left leg, left leg, left leg. After that, in the next interval, that's when we swap sides, okay? So that's the bird dog knee touch, or knee elbows. After that, we're gonna be doing reverse crunches. So back on the, oh, the boss not working? So back on the floor here. Yeah, we're gonna roll down, laying on our backs. So instead of doing the crunch that a lot of people know, which is the chest up to the feet, to the legs, what we're gonna do is keep our upper body down on the floor, pop our hands down for stability. We're gonna lift our knees up towards our chest. So this is the reverse crunch. So it's a little bit better than the regular crunch, because what can happen with a regular crunch is people can sometimes strain their necks. They can sometimes pull their neck forward with their hands, which you don't want to do. So if you're keeping your upper body flat on the floor, you're actually gonna protect your neck that way. So after reverse crunches, we're doing the good mornings. Good morning is standing movement. Feet about shoulder width apart, toes pointed forward-ish. You can have them pointed outwards about 5 degrees if you'd like. We're gonna make the number 7 with this one. So hinging at the hip, you're gonna bend, and push the butt back, keeping the feet flat on the floor, keeping your back nice and straight. The legs, you can see I've got a little bit of a bend in the knees. Now that's gonna be completely up to you. If you've got very, very flexible hamstrings, you should be able to keep that nice and straight, as long as we're not doing a squat. So, okay, we're not squatting. We're keeping the legs 95% straight until you feel a really, really good stretch in the hamstrings and the glutes here, and then using all of the muscles on the back of your leg, thrusting forward. So we're making a number 7 and then thrusting forward, okay? Squeezing your butt at the top of that for the full activation of the glutes. So after good mornings, we're then gonna do rotating squats. This is a new one, this is a different one. With a squat, regular squat, feet about shoulder width apart, sitting down, keeping the chest and the torso upright. What we're gonna do now is rotate to the side. Squat down, rotate. So you see I'm facing forward. I'm then gonna rotate 90 degrees in one direction, keeping my feet flat on the floor. I'm twisting all the way from the hips up to the shoulders here, down and rotate. Good, so this is now also activating some of our oblique muscles, our oblique abdominal muscles there, as we spin and rotate in a nice controlled fashion. After rotating squats, more oblique work. We're doing the mermaids. There's the R mermaid and the L mermaid, right and left, okay? So with this one, you gotta pretend that you're a mermaid with with fish legs. You just got one big old fish leg. So what we're gonna do is sitting down here, sitting back, we're gonna lean to one direction. So if we're doing the left hand mermaids, left hand goes out, we're gonna lean back about 45 degrees on this hip here, okay? Keeping the legs together, we're then gonna reach up and touch. Reach up, touch the toes, okay? So very important. Oh, it's called a tail, Jeff. Fish legs. That's what it is. It's the one big flipped fish leg that it uses to run, water run. It's called water running, not swimming. Okay, there we go. So this is one side, okay? I'll do the other side now here so you can see the slight difference. On the right-hand side, again, we're gonna lean over about 45 degrees. This left leg comes up off the floor, keeping your legs together, leaning back about 45 degrees, kick these legs up and touch, okay? There we go. So it's a little bit like an oblique leg raise reverse crunch, if that makes sense. They're the mermaids, right? So from that, we're gonna move on to bottom shelf, top shelf. Now this is an alternating side movement. I might actually move the mat out of the way for this one. But the bottom shelf, top shelf, what we're gonna do, starting off, standing square at whatever you're looking at, just feet square, a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. And what we're gonna do is rotate one way into a lunge, down, grab something off the bottom shelf, and then reach up high, put it up on the top shelf. Back to the middle, lunge down, bottom shelf, reach up high, put it on the top shelf, okay? So lunging down, and then lunging down, big reach, okay? I want you to really, really reach up as high as you can with that one. After bottom shelf, top shelf, we're then gonna get our mats again for the last hold, the last movement today, which is the boat hold, okay? So with this one, we're gonna start off sitting up, feet on the floor. What I'd like you to do then is bring your shins horizontal, hands horizontal, pointed at your ankles, and then hold. So we should be able to hold ourselves here like this. Back nice and straight, knees together, feet together, and holding for 30 seconds, engaging the core and breathing at the same time. So that's our workout. I hope you're all ready to go. If you've got a heart rate strap on, if you've got something that you use to track your workouts, press go on that now. And in 20 seconds, start off with these right bird dog knee elbows. Yeah, I've been practicing though. Martha Stewart, I've been practicing. Grace used to be better at them than me. I don't know if that's the case anymore. Yeah. Okay, hands and knees. We're gonna go right hand, left leg. So, right hand, left leg. Hold it for a second. Touch, knee, elbow. Straight out, knee, elbow. So this whole time I'm doing this, I wanna try and keep my hips and my shoulders level. I don't wanna be rotating around like this. I want my shoulders to be nice and flat. I want my hips to be nice and flat. Now it's gonna be hard because to bring my knee up to my elbow, I do need to dip that hip a little bit. So, whoop, there we go, take a rest. So the hip that's actually moving, oh Nina, have a great one. Thanks for dropping in. The hip's gonna be rotating, but one of them is gonna be stationary because it's on the floor. That's the whole point of this. We're working the core, we're also working the stability in lots of different joints here. So next one is gonna be left hand, right leg, okay? So hands and knees, get ready for this one. Big deep breath into the core. Left hand and right leg. When you hear the beep, go. Is that beep way too loud, chat, or is it okay? Back. So push on that, and then pull it back in. Nice. No, it's good, sweet. Thanks, Margarito. So, breathing into your core. What you'll find is that when we do a lot of these core movements, you're actually squishing your belly, you're squishing your core. So you want to try and time your breathing around reps here. Have a good one. Thanks, Tachi. Okay, reverse crunches we're doing now. Oh, thanks for the follow, by the way. Okay, we're gonna lay on our backs. And from here, I'd like you to take a nice big deep breath into your belly. And then exhale as you bring the legs up. Inhale with the legs down. Bring those legs up. So you can see what I'm doing. As I'm breathing into the belly, I'm filling up my abdomen. I'm dropping the diaphragm down towards my pelvis and trying to squish all my guts out. And then trying to breathe out as I bring my legs up, because that's conducive to the motion of my belly there as I'm breathing in. You'll starve now because the cat's on you, you can't move. Absolutely cannot move now. Okay, we're getting to the good mornings. I knew that if I had a workout with good mornings that a Muckalito would appear. How are you, Muckalito? Hope you're having a good morning so far. So, I'm going to go slide onto you there because I'd like you to watch the number 7 that we build with this good morning. Hinging at the hip. It's a hip hinge, right? And then thrust forward. Hip hinge. Thrust forward. Keep your shoulder blades back as well. Notice I'm not telling you to reach for the floor. I'm not telling you to reach for anything, because when you do reach for stuff, sometimes you introduce some very poor form cues, okay? Because if I were to tell you to bend and reach for your toes, you're gonna find people do this, and they round their back so they can get their hands down a little bit lower. With a good morning, I don't care. I don't give two hoots about whether or not you want, oops, oh, you know what it is. I know what it is. It's this one. I'll bring that down a little bit for me so it's not stupid loud. There we go. Yeah, I don't give two hoots about whether you touch your toes or not. What I'm concerned about is that hip hinge for the good mornings. Very, very important hip hinge. Now we're doing our rotating squats. I'm gonna stay here, standing, watching you. We're gonna squat down and then do our rotations every time we stand up. That's better, isn't it? Okay, squat, rotate. You don't need to throw your hands out, but it does help to make sure that your torso is in the right direction there, okay? Because what I want is 90 degrees from here to here. So hands down and then point those arms out. And what you're gonna feel when you do throw those arms out as well, a little bit of a stretch alongside here, right? You're gonna feel that core working. That's a bit better volume for me. Makes the beeps a little bit more quiet. Yeah. How good are good mornings? Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Muckalito is 100% correct with that one. There'd be a hell of a lot less injuries in the world if people practice their good mornings a little bit more. Okay, here we go. We're doing the right-hand side mermaids. On the floor here, I'm gonna rotate to the right, just a little bit, okay? And then supporting my weight on my right hand, leaning back a bit, but then bringing these 2 toes up to touch. So touch, keeping the legs nice and straight, tap there, good. Good. So just sit back, relax, shake out the hips a little bit. You use an SSB for good mornings? Yeah, so I like a sandbag. I like to have a sandbag on my shoulders when I'm doing the good mornings, but a safety squat bar, yes, would work. You could use a normal barbell if you want as well. You can use anything that gives a little bit more weight to your upper body there. Okay, here we go, left-hand side. So, leaning back slightly. Keep the legs together as best you can. And keep the legs straight as best you can as well. Couple more. Good morning for you is ground up, pressed with some steaming water and poured into a metal mug. How metal's your mug? I got one of these ones. Yeah. Metal. All right, next we've got the bottom shelf, top shelves. Okay, I'm gonna stand here. Feet a little bit wider than shoulder width because we wanna be able to do that lunge, okay? So if you have shoulder width, you run out of room. So a little bit wider, if you can. Here we go. Bottom shelf, top shelf, go. Bottom shelf, up. So, big reach. I want that big stretch in the core. So reach down, reach up. You should feel that active stretch in the lat and along the side here, okay? Yeah, like here, bottom shelf, top shelf, good. Bottom shelf, top. And you notice here as well, the funny little lunge angles I've got with my knees, because we do want to teach our knees to bend in slightly off angles. This one's a really good way to teach that because we're not actually moving much weight around. It's just body weight. If we did have big heavy dumbbells or big heavy weights that we're picking up, I'd be a little bit more concerned about the direction of our feet. But at this stage with body weight, it's all about learning to move in slightly unstable positioning, okay? So we've got the bow hold now. This is the last one of the whole set. And then we'll repeat a couple of times. So here we go, 3, 2, 1. Bring those legs up and reaching towards your ankles. So you see how I'm keeping my feet as still as I can. And Garth Martha Stewart, I've been practicing. You see? If you are early in this, and this is the first time that you've done them, what happens is this. You get a bit wobbly. You get a bit woo, and you fall over, right? What you want to do, big deep breath in. And learn to breathe into your core, really activate the core, really just focus on getting those shins nice and horizontal, okay? So that's round number 1. How's your core feeling, everyone? If you're watching the YouTube video, leave a comment, drop it in below. What's your favorite movement here? I know a lot of people like the good mornings, which funnily enough, a lot of people sometimes get a bit upset. No, that's not a core movement. Well, if we go back to the start here and we talk about how you define core, I think that's where the problem comes from. Because a lot of people will just do sit-ups. They'll say, hey, I want a good six-pack. I'm gonna just do sit-ups. When realistically, the core is everything around here which helps to keep your body stable and protect your spine whilst you're putting it under resistance loads. Yeah, everything's a core movement if you do it right. 100%, 100%. You know, a big heavy squat, big heavy deadlift, so much core involved. So we're getting down now for round number 2. Hands and knees. It's the right hand and the left leg. So out, bird dog, bring that in. So you should feel the upper back on the right hand side and the left hand glutes activating. And then here, you're gonna crunch those abs together so that you can get the knee to touch your elbow. So just keep repping it out. Keep that balance in the left hand and in the right knee. And if you are feeling some knee pain, maybe grab a bit more of a cushion to pop your knee onto. Ladiel, good morning, how are you? Knees to nips, all stabilizing muscles for the midsection. Yeah, so if you can get your knee up as high as you can, then you don't need to pull your elbow down as far. The higher you can get your knee with these movements, the easier it becomes. I think that's the key to this one. You could just reach further with your elbow, but you're gonna get a lot more benefit if you can reach that knee higher, okay? So here we go, left hand side now. So left hand, right leg, squeeze it out, and then bring that knee all the way up. Good. Reach, reach. Wow, it just became super windy. I don't think you can hear that, maybe with the noise reduction, but all of the doors and windows just started rattling a bit. Nice. Awesome, okay, reverse crunches. So we're gonna stay down here near our mat, on the mat. Laying back. And again, with this one, it's the thunder down under. That's right. Late nights are working, early mornings. Oh no. Oh, Ladiel, you feeling it? You could get some low intensity stuff in if you work a little bit like what we're doing here. Okay, here we go. So, bent knees, you're gonna bring those knees up. Again, if you can get your knees to touch your chest, awesome, so good. We're not necessarily bringing our shoulder blades off the floor. We're gonna try and curl our legs up towards our torso. So the important part here is that I'm not putting my hands behind my head. I don't want to be wrenching my neck at all, one iota. It's all about my legs raising towards my chest. That's why it's called a reverse crunch, if you haven't figured that out. So back to the good mornings again. Wind may be affecting my electricity. The lights are blinking and everything. It's all going everywhere. How are you, Jason? Welcome in, mate. All right, I got a good mornings, 13 seconds. We're doing a bit of a core workout today. If you're just joining us, we're getting some glutes and abs, even the upper back, like the traps and the rhomboids, they're working as well. So feet about shoulder width, I'm hinging at the hip, making a number 7, and then using all of the big elastic band energy in the hamstrings and the glute. Think of it like an elastic band. You're stretching that band, and then you're using the power in that band to straighten yourself up. Thrust those hips forward using your glutes. There we go, good. So stretch the hip flexors. Have a nice open posture about this too. Don't curl yourself in like this. Big open posture. So you're pulling the shoulder blades back. You're presenting yourself with confidence as well. That's what you notice. When you have an open posture, you're a little bit more, or you appear more confident, and you appear a little bit more approachable too. You're not blocking yourself off from the world, which can happen sometimes if we're not in a good mental headspace, or if we're battling some demons. We sometimes try and huddle in. Whoa, what are you doing, Jason? Okay, we've got the rotating squats. You've been crawling under the house, wrapping pipes in insulation. Oh. So we're squatting and then we're rotating. Squat, rotate. So we're going for that twist in the hips and in the spine, but we're keeping our feet flat, okay? So that's the thing. I'm not doing this. I'm not lifting the heel. I'm keeping the feet flat and I'm twisting like that, okay? Nice. I don't think I've ever, actually. Woo, flashlights. Real Davey, how you going? Thanks for following, mate. Mermaids, we're doing the mermaids now. In Australia, the majority of houses normally have like the concrete footings, and most of the supply pipes and the sewage pipes are actually in the concrete, in the footing. Okay, here we go. Right hand side. So 45 degrees to the right, straight legs. Bring those feet up, tap them with your hand. So see, I'm almost on my elbow. I'm just using the tricep a little bit to bring my upper body up away from the floor, make it a little bit more difficult. So the higher up you have your body, the more difficult it is to actually lift your legs. If you lay down further, you can lift them a lot higher. So you're gonna fight for whatever your level of effort is. But you wanna try and always be a little bit higher up so you can fight for a little bit more than you normally would. Jason, is it bear crawl low or is it leopard crawl low? Because leopard crawls they'll really take it out of you, won't they? Oh man. Yeah, is it sort of hands and knees crawl or is it on your belly crawl? Okay, here we go. You see, I'm breathing in as my legs go down, and then as my legs come up, exhale. It helps to support that core. So I'm kicking the legs up. I'm not reaching with my hand. My hand does go out, but I'm kicking my hand. Nice. Yeah, bottom shelf, top shelf. The IKEA. We're doing the IKEA now. I forgot my bottle of water, didn't I? Davey, how you going, by the way? If you're lurking, it's all good. But if you're new here, say hello. We've got a friendly bunch of people. So the feet are a little bit wider than shoulder width, remember? Hey, Davey. Okay. A little bit wider than shoulder width. And what we're gonna do is kneel in one direction. We're gonna get something off the bottom shelf and then reach up, put it up high on the top shelf. Other side. Bottom shelf, reach top shelf. So you see what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to get down nice and low. I'm gonna get my chest to my knee, and then I'm gonna try and make a nice straight line with this leg, straight up with my arms. Big reach. Let's go down, big reach. Build up a rhythm. Once you know what the muscles should feel like that you're activating, big stretch, big reach, glute activation, lat stretch, shoulders are working, so you get up nice and high. You got time for one more big reach. Good, shake it off. Oh, no stress, Davey. So you know what's cool, Davey? Because it's on Twitch, you can watch the VOD afterwards, but you can also check out the YouTube channel, because that's where we start uploading a lot of these things. So yeah, it'd be great to have you for some of the workouts. What part of the world are you in, Davey? Are you just getting to work? You're just starting work? Or have you been at work all day? Let's go. So the boat hold now, we're gonna bring our legs up off the ground. We're gonna get our shins vertical, arms vertical. So I'm basically reaching towards my ankles. Oh, you're in Sydney, cool. So you're just starting today. Nice. So straight back, shoulders back. Keep my knees together, keep my feet together. And while I breathe, I'm trying to keep my legs as stable as possible and roll out of that. Well done. Okay, team, one more round. Now you know what you've done. You've done the movements twice now. You should feel pretty good about this. You should feel all right. What's this one? Bring it down. Sweet. All right, 30 more seconds. So if you're feeling a little bit tired in the core already, if you need to take a break throughout any of these movements, please do. You can pause the workout. You can do more of them if you like. If you're a little bit stronger with your core, feel free to just pause the YouTube video, do 10 more reps, then restart it and get back into it. A little bit of faffing about, but you know what, we're just going through the basics here. So first movement is that right bird dog knee touch. We're gonna pop back down into our mats to protect our knees, and we're gonna go right hand, right arm, left leg out straight, and then bring that knee up nice and high. So really try and get, like what Makalita said, try and get your knee to your nipple. Kick it nice and forward, bring that elbow in, stretch that arm out. So you want a big, decent stretch. And one thing that people forget is when you're doing a stretch, just as important as the flexibility on the side that you're trying to stretch is the strength of the muscles on the other side that's trying to stretch that, okay? Oh, we got more bots again. Oh no. Thanks, GTA. More bots coming in. Want to become famous? Nah, not really. Not really. I've seen what happens when you get famous. You start to use Twitter. Okay, so we got the left bird dog knee elbows. Let's go. So left hand, right leg out straight. Bring the knee up. Touch it to your elbow. Here we go. Straight out. Awesome. Awesome. I want to be famous. Oh, you're back. Swish, how you going? I heard, did you click twice again, Swish, did you? Oh, no. Welcome back in, mate. How are you? So, Swish, I think you were here yesterday for the... No, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? For our run. Yesterday, we did the rolling workout. Today, we're doing a beginner core workout here. So, we're going to lay on our backs, because we're up to the third round now. Reverse crunches. So, hands down, bend the knees. We're going to crunch those knees up. So, the reverse crunch is having your knees come towards your chest rather than bringing your chest to your knees. It's the other way around. And the benefit of this is that you take away a bit of the risk of straining your neck, but you're also going to be activating the lower abdominal muscles. You know, there's little bottom portion of the six pack more towards your pelvis, they get activated a bit more with the leg raises as opposed to the crunching, right? You'll have millions of followers if you do it every day. Yeah, what a rush, you clicked it? Nice. Don't click it, chat. I'm having a joke, I'm having a laugh. So if you're watching on YouTube, we're having a little bit of a laugh at the things that happen on Twitch, which you can join in with too. Twitch.tv/fit for purpose. We're there every weekday morning. Hip hinge, good morning. So pushing the butt back slightly, keeping the legs pretty straight. I say pretty straight, a little bit of a bend is fine, but using that elastic band potential energy, turning it into kinetic energy in a squeeze. So a really good, powerful squeeze. Look, if you can get your torso to be horizontal and straight, like when I say straight as well, I don't mean like a ruler straight. I'm saying the natural curvature in the spine between your hips and your shoulders remains the same. It's nice and solid. That's why that's a core movement, is because you need the core muscles here to remain solid in order to keep your back in a neutral and safe position. We're at rotating squats now. So the rotating squat, as opposed to the regular squat, where you want that solid core to prevent any movement in the spine, what we're gonna do this time though, is we're gonna activate some of those oblique core muscles in order to rotate ourselves as we stand up. So here we go, feet about shoulder width apart, pointing out slightly at the bottom of the squat, making sure that your heels are flat on the floor. As you come up, you're twisting in one direction. Down, twist in the other direction. Chuck that reach in there as well, because you're gonna feel the core muscles activate as you twist. So squat, twist. Keep the shoulder blades back, keep the torso upright. Down, and chuck that twist in as well. Good. Nice. So if you wanted to make that one more difficult, here's a question for chat. And in the comments, chuck the comment in before I answer the question for you. How would you make that one a little bit more difficult? If you felt that you could do your squats and twists pretty easily with your hands, how would you make that a bit more difficult for someone? You can't watch without watching for Grace sneak up. I know, Jason. It's it's just a fear. It's embedded into me now. So what you do is you grab a weight, you grab a dumbbell, low anchor points. Oh, Makalito. Okay, we got our mermaids. So Makalito is just known for his brutality. Just making that stupid brutal with a band. Okay, I see you. What I was thinking is maybe picking up a water bottle or a dumbbell or a kettlebell or even a medicine ball. If you've got like a low weight medicine ball, what that's gonna do, just the twisting motion, that's enough weight in your hands, because everything has an inertia. The physics of weight is that it's got an inertia, and one of the laws of motion is that it takes force to move anything with an inertia. So you twisting is a very, very good way to put resistance on your muscles. What Makalito's saying is if we had a low point anchor, we have a band attached to the ground while we twist, oof. So we're not only using gravity against our own bodies, but we're also using a force of resistance pulling us in a direction towards that anchor point. And we have to stabilize ourselves against that. You know what would it be even harder than that, Makalito? Is if you were to get a moving anchor point. So if you were to have someone holding the band and then also moving the anchor point around whilst you were doing those squat twists, that's the kind of thing that you see on the Red Bull account for people that are like snowboarders. You have them on a balance board and you have them hold onto a band, and then the other person holding the band does this. And then they have to stay on the balance board. That's fun stuff. Oh, pick up a dumbbell between your legs for the mermaids. Yuck. Okay, here we go. You're brutal, not a psychopath. I get you. Okay, here we go. Wide feet, wide feet, wide feet. Down. Reach up high. Good. Other side. Bottom shelf. Top shelf. And you see the knees. We're going through some instability here. We're practicing how to be a little bit unstable while we're balancing ourselves. Reach up high. Good. Squeeze the butt. So down, Squeeze the butt, squeeze the shoulders, reach up really high. Good. Reach down, reach up. Nice. Reach down, reach up. Keep it going. Nice. Good. And we've got one last movement here, chat. One last movement, or hold, I should say. It's the boat hold. And we're bringing this core workout to a close. 17 seconds, just shaking it out. I'm gonna try and do my best with this one. I'm gonna try and hold this as still as I possibly can. So get your breathing in check. Balancing on your butt. Go. If you talk, you're gonna find yourself probably moving around a bit. I think that's what my problem was in the past, is that whenever I'm doing these, I'm actually chatting to chat. And by talking, you're adding a whole bunch of movement and instability into your diaphragm, which is working so hard to try and balance yourself out as you breathe and as you hold. There you go. There you go, chat. Thank you so much. So YouTube friends, if you're watching that, you're now fully prepped for a big lifting workout. Like what we were saying before, just talking through chat there, is that the core plays such a huge part in safe back motion, in back bracing, when you're doing squats, when you're doing deadlifts, you're doing all that sort of stuff. So have at it. If you did enjoy that one, check out some other green level workouts. They're all entry level. Blue's the next level up, and then purple is the most intense. Most of the workouts here on the channel are bodyweight workouts. We've also got some kettlebell ones, which we've been slowly uploading. So hopefully see you next time here on YouTube or on Twitch, twitch.tv/fit for purpose, weekday mornings, Adelaide time. See ya.